Junkie Nation, are you ready? Well, let's get it on.
Yeah, let's get it on. It's the MMA Junkie Radio show here in Las Vegas at the Mandalay Bay Resort and Casino. I'm George. Goes to my left. Andre the Giant is back in New York.
I'm Goes.
What did I say?
Nothing.
Goes to my left. Andre the Giant's back east, right?
Okay. No.
All right. Speaking of Big John and Luke Rockhold, what is it with the MMA community as of late? There's a lot of big timers. The last 3 texts I've sent to Big John, nothing.
McCarthy?
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah. Did he change his number?
You want me to try?
Well, just text me what the last 4 end in. But you know, he's on our show every day with the intro.
He does change it quite often.
And I feel terrible because I'm telling the editorial, this is who's committed to be on the show. And then in the last hour or so, the last few weeks, just the show just starts to fall apart, or I don't know. It's like, well, why'd you commit then? You know what I mean? Let me see.
Mm-hmm. Well, that's not even the weird part. Is a lot of the times they come to us.
Oh, so I have a complete different number then.
Let me try and make sure.
Is that new?
Kind of, but not really. Maybe like a year old.
Okay. Well, maybe that explains it. I feel a little better. But yeah, so let's reset the stage. Today's going to be a fun show no matter what. I do know Diego Sanchez is coming to the studio. So is Donald Cowboy Cerrone. And honestly, we should be happy with that.
Yeah.
That to me is a great show. We'll take some calls. We'll talk about the latest news. We'll preview some of these fights that are coming up. Got some junkies in the studio. So it doesn't get any better than that. But it's not easy, man, to book shows and to scramble and move things around, you know what I mean? And it's just, it drives me nuts at times. So the cherry on the Sunday was hearing Big John's voice, thinking, wait a minute, Big John, good friend of the show, took the time to do that, work on our intro. Why haven't you been returning texts? And I just have simple questions for him. And he used to tell me, text me anytime. I want to educate, you know what I mean? Anytime we have any questions.
We had a cool deal. Well, now we can say, right? He's gone.
Yeah.
We had a cool deal with him where once a month he would meet us at this little bar that he lived like right behind us.
Right.
And there was this little bar on the corner, and you could just meet him and ask him anything.
Yeah.
It was awesome. And then he moved away.
If you would have been to the one where you didn't show, man, we went deep on that one. We discussed a lot of stuff, and you have good memory retention. Like, you pretty much remember the whole 3 hours we sat with Roddy Piper, right?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, John's was something similar.
Really?
Yeah, and I was just sitting there going, oh, wow, no. Really? No way. Really? Oh, man, he did? She did? Wow.
Oh, Roddy Piper was awesome.
Right, but the problem is I don't really retain too much of it. So that's the good thing about telling me a secret. I'll forget it most of the time, but whatever. All right, so how do you participate in the show? It's easy. You call in 877-FIGHT-93. 877-FIGHT-93. So that's the easy way to just remember the damn number. It don't get any easier than that. I mean, we made it simple for you guys. But if you want it the other way, 877-344-4893. Because I realize some of you might be driving and you don't want to look down to see what's the F, what's the I, what's the G, etc. So, one more time. 877-FIGHT-93. That's the easy one to remember. 877, this is the one you input. 877-344-4893. On Twitter, at MMA on SiriusXM, and that works for all the channels, or excuse me, all the shows on this channel. Therefore, you can correspond with all the hosts and producers from all the different shows, like The Luke Thomas Show, At the Fights, MMA Tonight, Busted Open. Rad, right? That's what I thought. Okay, so, look, if some of these fighters are able to call in, because we've been doing a little bit of a switcheroo here and there, then Andre the Giant will let me know. And, you know, at some point in time, we might just go from the middle of a discussion or a phone call to our hotline. So you'll just have to bear with us because it's fight week. And it's not only fight week, it's International Fight Week. And if you are a fan that's coming to Las Vegas, like the Sanchez brothers, or like LeBron from Maryland, I believe. I think that's where he's at. Or Mike and Kendra. Sorry, Mike and, Kendra. I was trying to combine them and call them Indra. Mike from, yeah, sure. As long as I'm not taking it away from them. Okay. Mike and Kendra from Humboldt, then you should make yourself aware of everything that's going on. There's lots going on, and I'm going to do a quick rundown of it. So tonight is the World MMA Awards. If you're already driving to town or you're in town, it's the World MMA Awards. It's at the Palms, and it starts at 7:30. I thought it started at 7, but it starts at 7:30. And so right now, all of the nominees are kind of walking the red carpet, and then they go into a room, and it's just kind of like this nice little mixer where everyone in the industry just kind of shakes hands and pats each other on the back or avoids each other, whatever your relationship is. But it's pretty cool. We've done that, and then after that, they make an announcement. You go to where you're seated with the other nominees, or if you're just attending, then you go and sit down in your seat, and you just hang back. And it's really, really cool. I really tip my hat to the World MMA Awards, their committee and Fighters Only, people behind this, because not only do they go through like 18, 20 awards, whatever they're up to now, but they do they'll recognize an individual in the sport as well. And then they have some funny, skits that they do, and and they bring in like different types of celebrities from all forms of entertainment and sports to come in and be a part of it as well, because there's a lot of them that you wouldn't realize it, but they're big MMA fans. Like, for example, last year's Master of Ceremonies was Jeremy Piven. So I thought that was a huge get for them. Anyway, so that's tonight, and you have basically about 2.5 hours to get to the Palms if you're already in town or if you're driving to town. It's pretty cool. I really, really suggest that you go. Also, tomorrow is Independence Day for us. We will be off. However, the UFC, I just saw they are going to have an Ultimate Media Day, guys. I didn't know that. I thought they had suspended everything kind of because of the same thing where just nothing's going on. Right. But they are going to have an Ultimate Media Day, and it's going to be at the T-Mobile Arena on the
concourse.
Concourse, yeah, pretty much the entry level there of where you go in. And so what I'm going to find out for y'all is if it's open to the public or not, because I would hate to have anybody go down that way, and they're very inconsistent with this. Sometimes it is, sometimes it isn't, and I'd hate to send somebody that way if in fact it's not. So this will just take me a second here, because I just read up on it right now. Here we go. It doesn't appear to be. Now, it doesn't state that it's not. I would maybe go to the UFC website and check just to make sure. Wait, here we go.
You're teasing, George.
I am.
You're teasing.
But I want to make sure.
But if you know the T-Mobile Arena.
Closed to the public. Sorry. So tomorrow, go light fireworks or something. We're off. Enjoy the holiday. And don't forget to put your flag out.
You just responded.
What?
Nice. You just responded.
Who did?
Big John.
Oh, did he?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Well, then, yeah, I've been texting the wrong person. I feel so much better now. That really, really helps out. It really, that wasn't a big deal. Because I just figured he's busy, or maybe there's a new relationship with him being, part of an organization as opposed to more of an independent source. Mm-hmm. Or maybe I thought, did I piss him off? I don't know.
Nah, he gets over things fast.
It only affected me because of the runaround that I had on the way in here with all these switching of times and crap like that, right?
You're doing the
so then when I heard John's voice, I was like, oh, add him to the list. But take him off the list. He's great. He really is. All right, so progressing. Now we get to Friday. Friday, there is an Ultimate Media Day. Friday is the Hall of Fame ceremony. And the UFC Fan Experience, Day 1 at the downtown Las Vegas Event Center. From 9 to 5 p.m., it'll be Day 1 of the UFC Fan Experience. So it's, kind of like, I guess, the old expo or convention that the UFC used to have. Mm-hmm. But like I mentioned yesterday, autograph signings, accessibility to some of the athletes for pictures and maybe chat or whatever. There's tons of food and beverage there available for everybody on site. So check it out. Now, the UFC also has a Fight Week app, so if you want to get that as well, you'll pretty much have all the information that I'm giving you right now, but probably in greater detail. That's from 9 to 5. It's at the downtown Las Vegas Event Center. And then, remember, we're talking about Friday now. Then there's also the UFC Hall of Fame induction ceremony, 6 to 9 p.m. at the Palms. And that one obviously is open to the public. At 7 p.m., the ceremony begins. At 6, the doors open to the public. Being inducted into the modern era will be Rashad Evans, also known as Hashad Evans. Michael Bisping. Into the Pioneer era, Rich Franklin. And into the Fight Wing, so meaning their fight, not necessarily them. And I'm not saying they're not eligible at some point, but I'm just trying to be specific here because there's different wings. The Diego Sanchez Clay Guida Classic. That one will be inducted, that fight. It doesn't appear that there will be a contributor this year because they also have a contributor wing, and that's where you have Mask from Tap Out or Bruce Connell, who was part of their production team for many years.
Art Davey,
correct, yeah. So, now you have a little bit of time to fill in between, and there's also the UFC weigh-ins from 4 to 4:30. It starts, let me go a little bit further before that. At 2:30, there's a UFC press conference, and the UFC's been kind of quiet about this. Now, I haven't seen it, and Ghost can chime in if he's seen anything different, but what I heard was that this is a seasonal press conference, not a press conference having to do with this card, because that's what kind of like the media day is and all that they're having tomorrow. That's not for the public. You know, the athletes will square off and all that, and then basically they'll be situated in different spots where the media can just go freely move from one athlete to the next. There's no longer like a dais. So there's just a press conference, and I haven't gotten too many details, but somebody who I know very well, I don't really like to sell them out or anything, but I'll give you a hint. He goes by John M. In other circles, he's also known as Jay Morgan.
Gotcha.
So yeah, he told me that he thinks that it's a seasonal press conference. So I just don't want to get anyone hyped up thinking, oh my God, is Willie Zhang flying in from China? You know, because what they're going to do is bring in all the headliners from all of the cards that are coming up. It's just that depending on how far out the fight is, it could be that they don't ask the fighter to come in, you know, especially if they have to travel far and if the fight is pretty close. Like the Covington-Lawler fight goes, that's not too far away. That's literally a month away, so those guys have every right to go, wait, you want us to fly in from Florida for that? I mean,
Colby's not going to miss one of those, though.
Yeah, that's true.
Granted, now he's paired up with somebody that's not going to play the game with him, and he doesn't really seem to want to play it with him anyway.
Yeah.
So, yeah, you're right in those regards, but he's a perfect guy for something like that.
But it does say doors open to the public at 2 p.m., and so that press conference will be open for people. And then they have the UFC weigh-ins, the ceremonial weigh-ins. By then, they're rehydrated. They're like 10 to 20 pounds heavier, but they'll still go in there, stand on a scale, picture opportunity, final face-off, final interview for the fighters with Joe Rogan, or at least the co-main and the main event because they're title fights. And that'll be your Friday. Also, quick shout-out. Oh, no. One last thing. Day 2 on Saturday for the UFC Fan Experience, downtown Las Vegas Center, 9 a.m. to 5 p.m. Same thing. And then there's obviously the fights. Also, shout out to Adam Hunter, comedian, friend of the show, who's the man behind the @MMA Roasted handle on Twitter. Everybody knows this by now. And, of course, the MMA Roasted podcast. He's performing down at the Stratosphere all week. You'll have to maybe follow him to get your exact time. Sometimes he does 2 shows, 8 and 10, but a lot of the fighters go down there and support him, and I'm going to see if I can get down there one day. So that's just yet another thing you can take in. And then we have a couple guests as well, and we'll discuss what they have going on, like our good friend Dave Manley, who's having a couple events with some fighters, Bruce Buffer and Cowboy Cerrone on Friday at Blondie's, and then on Saturday at the Las Vegas Fight Shop, Brian Ortega and Cowboy. So I'll give you all the times and that whole thing when they come in later on today. All right, so I believe we have some calls.
We do.
All right.
We have on the hotline right now, waiting for us, one of our favorites, James from Pennsylvania.
What's up, James? How you doing?
And he just dropped, guys.
Way to go, James. Impatient motherfucker. I didn't talk that long. Jesus, I'm feeding everybody information. You can't hang tight. All right, what are you going to do? Call back, James. He wants to talk Masvidal Askren, and that would have been a great topic because I'm really, really pumped up for this fight. And anything Askren does, the Masvidal people are saying you're going to get knocked out. Anything Masvidal says, the Askren people are, chiming in on social media. My man's going to wrestle you to death, and you're not going to stop the takedown. And it's kind of funny. And it almost seems like Democrats, Republicans thing, which I definitely don't want to go down that rabbit hole. But seriously, it's like once you've planted your flag and you stand behind someone, it's
That's it. It's
Yeah.
ride or die. Literally
Pretty
ride or die.
much.
People will not say, you know what? A couple months ago, I had it wrong. Nobody will say that. Do you want to dive deeply into this? 'Cause
Sure.
we were talking about this before the show. But we got James. James is back. He called back like you said, and I want to give him his time.
Nah, he can wait. No, I'm just kidding. All right, put in James. What's up, James?
Yo, hey guys.
What's up? Hey, what's your nickname? No Patience James?
Something like that.
All
You can call it
right,
whatever you
fair
want.
enough.
Awesome card Saturday. Obviously, one of the best cards of the year. The most interesting fight to me is Masvidal and Askren. One of the best wrestlers in the UFC against, arguably one of the best strikers in the division. 3-piece in a soda. I wanted to see how you guys think that's going to match up on Saturday.
I'm
All right.
so glad he asked that.
Yeah,
'Cause
and
we had
bonus points for him butchering Masvidal's name. He does it just like Joey Diaz. Masvidal, I think he said.
Masvidal.
Yeah,
So
I
does
love
Eric
it.
Nixick.
I love it.
Close
All right.
enough.
Yeah.
All right. So we were talking about this fight before the show started.
Yeah.
And what I find interesting about Ben Askren is, have you noticed he's had 2 3-round fights in the UFC? Those
Well, what?
3 rounds, right?
2
Robbie
3-round
Lawler
fights?
was a 3-round fight.
Yeah, but you said
Versus
2
a-
3 rounds fights.
Yeah, this is going to be a 3-round fight.
Oh, okay. I thought you meant he's already had them. This is the second. Gotcha.
All right. Those weigh in his favor a lot more, especially with his style. If he can get Masvidal down early, all right, that's going to put Masvidal in a really, really bad situation where he does this way of making you fight his fight and putting you behind the scorecard so early. If it were a 5-round fight, I don't know that style that he could do that at this level in the UFC with some of these monsters for 5 rounds. 3 rounds are perfect for him. The style that Masvidal has, he can make it really interesting, and I think it's one of those fights where we're going to know in like the first half of the first round, we're going to know in which way it goes. Because if Ben can't take him down within that time frame,
Right.
he might be toast with a guy like Masvidal. And the thing about Masvidal, I know he's out there, but he's been even more out there for this fight. You can tell, and it's actually the reverse out there, because he's dialed in.
Mm-hmm.
And a lot of times you can get him joking around. You could tell like all he wants to do is focus on the fight. He doesn't want to talk about anything else. You even bring up Ben Askren's name, it makes his blood boil. And I've only seen him do that one other time, which I can't bring up. But I think he's super dialed in for this fight. But I really think it's not. I think it should be like a very, very close fight. I see some people on the Masvidal say all day he's gonna wreck him, and then people on the Ben Askren side all day he's gonna get that takedown. I don't know, dude. I think it's way closer than that. I don't think one guy's gonna run away with it. But I after 2 minutes and 30 seconds, you're gonna know how this fight's gonna go.
By the way, do you see him as one of those guys that can threaten with that jumping knee
No,
technique?
no,
No?
no. But the sprawl and brawl, I really think he can do that.
I do see that as well.
Yeah.
And that means he's going to have to be a patient Jorge Masvidal. All right? When he was facing Darren Till and there wasn't as much of a threat of the takedown, he was able to kind of open up. Same thing when he fought, for example, like Donald Cerrone. So it'll be very interesting to see at what point he decides to roll the dice. Now, I would think if you just want to use logic, probably the last minute of every round is the best time to open up. That doesn't mean you just want to give away the first 4 minutes.
Mm-hmm.
You got to do something. But it could be that's when he uses the different types of techniques where he feels a little bit safer, where he can maybe use his speed, his hand speed, depending on where he might be in the octagon, because you definitely don't want to get your back up on that fence. And, then in the last minute, let's just say you do get taken down, you're just not getting held down and ground and pounded, and maybe you build up equity in the first 4 minutes with some damage. Because remember, we had a fighter here. It may have been Aljamain yesterday. We didn't hit this topic, but he talked, and then I think we just needed to move on from the clock was ticking. But damage is huge now. It's really, really emphasized. Even in the the older set of rules. Now they call them the newer unified rules, like of 2017. Damage is explicitly stated there that's the number one criteria that they're looking for. But back then, when they used to say effective striking, effective grappling, octagon or cage control, depending on where the promotion is, or what promotion it is, and then aggression, effective striking was still kind of like a tiebreaker of sorts. It's just it wasn't stated that way. So you're right. It'll be really interesting to see how that first round goes. And you're right. Dan Tom also noted that in the breakdown that if it were to go 5 rounds, it would probably have favored Jorge Masvidal. And it's so interesting because aren't there times where athletes are like, you know what, I don't want to go 5 rounds, like Jose Aldo, unless it's for a title.
Mm-hmm.
And then there's other athletes where you're like, ooh, you should have made it a 5-round fight because that's one of your strengths, or you're a slow starter or whatever. And yet the other person, their skill set is the opposite. But what's done is done. This fight's a 3-round fight. It'll play out. My prediction is that the athleticism and hand speed of Jorge Masvidal will come into play. I'm not saying he's not going to get taken down. I'm not saying he won't even lose a round. But I do believe that he has learned a lot from the Damian Maia fights, from part of being with a great camp, from shoring up his wrestling, and for all these years, especially with a guy like Colby Covington.
I was just about to say that. Is there not a better guy to train for a guy like Ben Askren than a Colby Covington?
Right, but Colby did state that they didn't train much this time because he did some traveling. It's the time that he did outside of this camp.
Yeah, he's been with him for a while now.
Correct, yeah. Thank you, James, for calling back. Thanks. Shout out to James in Pennsylvania. All right, let's do this. Let's take a quick break. I want to get a few of these out of the way because, again, we might have a couple surprise call-ins or whatever. But I do know that in the second hour, Diego Sanchez and Donald Cowboy Cerrone will be in our studio. So don't touch that dial. Stay with us. It's MMA Junkie Radio on Fight Nation, Channel 156.
Their mantles are covered with participation awards. They have boxes of gold stars that they purchase themselves. They are the legends and demand your respect. Here are George and Goes.
All right, we're back. on a Wednesday. Damn it. That was him. All right, Goes, talk for a second, please.
We're back, and it is Wednesday, as George stated. Fun show ahead of you guys. Now, we're doing a little bit of patchwork, and we may actually have a surprise guest for everybody. George is working on that right now. And, guys, I would look out for that hotline number just in case. It should be ringing. But to go back to what we were discussing before the break, the Masvidal fight's fun, man, but I think it's one of those where you don't bet it. A lot of people have been talking about putting a bet on that fight, and I was thinking about going Masvidal on that one, but I think I'm just going to stay away and be a fan. There's a lot of those type of fights on this card where it seems like it's either one-sided or it's just one of those where you just want to sit back and have a good time, and I think this is that type of fight. Like I said, I wish I'm one of the guys that has been shouting to make fights more 3-round fights, but this is one that I actually would have liked to see 5 rounds because I think you could tell a better story. Masvidal's got to keep that fight in the center of the cage and have room to circle out, know where he's at all times.
It does help that it's a bigger cage.
Yeah.
I know that most of the time it is the bigger cage.
I think
now.
that's what hurt RDA against Usman. I really do. I felt
agree.
It hurt him a lot.
I agree. It's 33% less real estate when you go from. So think about this, all you math geeks. You're going to get this, but everyone else, listen up. It's basically an 8-sided cage. All right. So from one side to the other, don't even think about the angle or anything. Just from one flat side to the other flat side, it's either 30 feet across is the octagon, and the other one is 25 feet, the smaller one. The smaller octagon is very similar to, it doesn't matter, because we have a superstar on the hotline. His name is Jorge Masvidal. What's up, Jorge? How you doing?
What's up, man?
Did you see that? I stopped mid-sentence when I got word that you were on the hotline. I stopped everything. Picture a bunch of cops just stopping all, getting all of the lights in sequence and saying the president's rolling through, and we got to stop all traffic. So much respect, man, for calling in.
That is a welcoming. That's a real welcoming right there.
Yeah,
a heartfelt one.
And don't worry.
I don't know, your producer wasn't so cool, man, but
I know. One of them's losing their gig after the tonight show's over, so we'll deal with them in a couple hours. But yeah, no, thanks for calling in, Mr. Bruce Lee.
He was asking me, who am I? He's acting like a main man. I know main man. I know main man. You know what I'm saying? You want to go to war?
I like it. He's in that mode already, George.
You want to go to war, man?
He is. Yeah.
You want to go to war, man?
Hey, producer Andre, you want to go to war? Answer him. I don't think they do, man.
Oh, man, I was so lost, man.
Hey, Jorge. So listen, my man.
Yes, sir.
I don't even know where to go with this because the one thing I've gotten from knowing you for such a long time and watching Embedded, you just want to fight. Like everything else just doesn't matter. How do you speed up the clock and get there? What is it that you can do to just pass the time, man, so that you can get to where you want to be, the sweet spot, Saturday night?
Meditation and women.
Oh man. Okay.
And not in that exact order,
Right. How long do you meditate for? You go like 5 minutes, 30 minutes?
Oh, I can meditate for a long time, man, to tell you the truth.
Yeah.
As long as I get lost. I don't even put a clock on it, Sometimes it'll be 7-8 minutes. Sometimes I'm meditating for a good amount of time, man.
And when you meditate, do you think about fighting or everything but or nothing else? How do you explain that, please?
Well, depends what the mood that I'm in and what I'm going to do, So obviously now I'm in fight week, so I'm just thinking about what I got to do.
Right.
Just visualizing every scenario that I could possibly encounter and have a plan of action for that,
Mm-hmm.
That's something that I've always done, but I just, the last year or two, I've amped it up a lot more just to put myself in the zone. And plus, I don't watch TV, so when I'm at the hotel, that's usually what I'm doing, I don't really watch TV ever, so I just focus on me, man, and what I got to do. I don't want no subconscious programming or any of that nonsense. I'm here to do business.
Do you remember what you told the troops when we were out in Virginia? You said, thank you, for what you do, fighting for our freedom, so that I can break jaws Damn, that was like one of the craziest statements I've ever heard in MMA, just when it has to do with connecting with fans or groups of people.
Yes, I mean, and that is 100% from the heart. If those individuals weren't putting their lives on the line, I couldn't be doing probably what I'm doing, you know? Who knows? This might be a communist country, some crazy shit, you know? But thank God there's a lot of brave young men out there that do that, something that I couldn't do, you know?
Yeah. And by the way, and then this is my last question, then I'll turn it over to Goes. That was also really cool on Embedded, seeing that young lady wearing your T-shirt and talking about how much it meant for her to meet you. And then I think a couple other people have been in there as well. So that's got to be pretty cool to be connecting with your fans that way, because for a long time I felt like your popularity was very underrated. Well, no, that's not the right word. I felt like you should be more popular and famous than you already were. But it seems like these last 6 months have just been tremendous for you, and hopefully you're feeling the love from the fans.
Oh, yeah. I mean,
Oop, we lose him?
I don't know. Andre's
He's still there with us. He's just going through a choppy line right now.
Okay.
I mean, and people appreciate it.
Jorge, we don't have a good connection.
Well,
You don't hear something like that.
Jorge, if you can hear us, we are having trouble hearing you right now. So,
there you are.
There you are.
Yes, sir.
Yeah. Well, we kind of missed that answer, but if you want to recap it real fast, you were answering me about connecting with the fans.
In a bad spot. You want to talk to him there, Andre? George and I'll continue over here.
Yep, will do. All right.
Be nice, Andre. He's a straight up G from the 305.
Yeah, he is. I didn't see that interaction. Was that on the last?
It was on the last Embedded,
one, right?
man. This young lady came up to him and said, "Oh my God, all I wanted to do was meet you." And she had the 3-piece and a soda T-shirt on, and she took a picture with him, and he was really, really cool with the fans. And I always tell the athletes, make the best of it. You already know you're walking through a lobby. Don't act bothered. I mean, what'd you expect? Cause especially when later on you're going to go, if not for the fans, we couldn't fight, blah, blah, blah. So budget that time. If it takes you 10 minutes to get from point A to point B, give an extra 10, because you're going to run into a lot of people that admire your work. But Jorge was awesome with the different fans that were there, and that young lady made it onto Embedded. That was really, really cool. How are we looking, Andre?
And we got him back. Here he is.
Okay.
Awesome.
All right. All right, Jorge. So we'll wrap up real quick, but let me give it to Goes real fast. He's got something for you.
So Jorge,
you guys are kicking me out quick today, man. We haven't talked in forever, and you kicking me out so quick. Who are these big stars you got on next to you? Shorties changing me so much.
No one. It's just that your phone's tripping. You got the cricket from the 305. You need to get like Verizon or something.
But the person that's phone this belongs to says that this is Verizon. So
it is? My bad, then.
Maybe I should switch to the cricket.
That's the powerful Abe Kawa, so respect. All right, go ahead, guys.
Jorge, so George is kind of right. Knowing you for so long, this seems like a different you for this fight. I think you hit the nail right on the head. It just seems like you want Fight Night to be here tonight. And what I wanted to know was, does that all have to do with Ben Askren, or just are there outside factors in your life that you just want to get in that cage and be there right now? What do you attribute all that to?
I always just want to be in the cage right here and right now. It's my favorite part. I've always said from the beginning, I got into it for the fighting. The fame is cool, but I didn't expect to get famous off of it. I just expected I could make nice paychecks and kick a lot of people's butts in the process. So, I don't know. The media is getting cooler now and stuff when I don't have a lot to do with it, Like fight week, I'm ready for it, But before that and stuff like that, and I'm kind of a hermit crab in some ways, so I'd rather just be to my own. And especially going back and forth with an idiot like that that's not funny, that's not witty, that's not anything. He's just throwing up whatever he can, and then he freezes up in the real life when he does see a motherfucker. So I don't care to be like all in the media going back and forth with this hillbilly man or whatever the fuck he is.
This is the one fight that over and over people want to break down, and they want to go through all the different scenarios. And the one guy that I thought about in this is, you've often told us that your dad likes to kind of chime in and give you advice on fights. What has he said for this fight? Has he gone into an extra gear like you?
He wants me to break his will and break his face, much like me. My dad's a mean SOB, man. Probably a little bit meaner than me, actually, to tell you the truth. And he wants me to hurt Ben bad, you know? We
Oop, lost him
Jorge?
again.
We can't hear you, buddy.
Well, that kind of sounds like an answer that we were expecting, though. His dad is really into his career, and if you ever hear him speak, it's just like Jorge. Like, you can tell where Jorge gets that drive from.
Yeah, definitely. All right, if he comes back, obviously we'll talk to him. He sounded like he still wanted to keep going. I thought maybe he wanted more of a shorter interview because it is fight week, and you know the fighters have been going back and forth between the PI and saunas and their host hotel. So we don't ever like to keep them too long. Now, as I say that, of course, a couple will visit the studio, and we'll chill out a little bit longer. But I think once they step in here, it's a little bit different. Usually the phoners go a little bit quicker. So
you got to worry about the 3-piece and the soda, but a lot of people forget about the lemon and the lime. You remember that, George?
No, explain that.
So 3-piece and the soda,
real
we all
quick-
know what that combo is.
Real quick, Andre, did he drop off?
Yeah, he dropped on us,
Okay.
young up.
Okay.
Lemon and lime is a slap.
Oh, yeah.
Do you remember that one?
Yeah.
He
Yeah.
showed George that one in the studio.
Yeah. All right. Well, listen, we got him for about 5-10 minutes there. That was fun. That's Jorge Masvidal, who is featured in the featured bout of UFC 239 this Saturday. His opponent is Ben Askren, 19-0 overall, a former Bellator and one championship champion. So he definitely has credentials, and of course he's a noted collegiate wrestler who even made it all the way to the U.S. Olympic team for the 2008 Olympics. But the one thing that always evaded him was, well, how would he do in the UFC? He passed one test with Robbie Lawler, and albeit very controversial, but the win was registered. He did put a chokehold on him that many people in the grappling world have sided with him and said the win was legit. But look, that's in the past. Now he's got Jorge Masvidal, and we can't wait to see it. And I think that's the fight that a lot of people are most pumped up about, despite the fact that the other one,
to the ones at the top.
Right. I mean, look, it's one of those where it's like, how can I put it to you? In the T-Mobile Arena, if you hold up, what do you call that measuring device for noise?
A something-ometer.
Okay,
I
that
forget
thing.
what it's called, but I know what you're talking
So
about.
what I'm getting at is that something-ometer, noiseometer, we'll call it, is going to hit like a 100 with the Masvidal Askren fight, and all it means is that the other ones will be like 99.9s or 0.8s, but they'll just be a bigger pop for this one because there's going to be really, really divided sides. You know what I mean?
Oh,
And it's
guys,
got
by the
heat.
way, it's a decibel meter.
Well, nice.
Are you sure?
He might have just said him.
Yeah.
Who's the other producer you're with today?
Oh, I'm not even a producer. Intern Josh is with us right now.
Oh, okay, so
There's another job.
Masvidal had asked us to relieve both of you of your duties because of that mix-up earlier. But
He
because you
called
guys
and
because you guys came up with that answer, he said he just texted me. He goes, because he's hearing the show. He goes, "Hey, tell them that the hit is off and they're still good to go." So
Oh, they got it lucked out.
we're good.
He
We're
called
good,
and
guys.
asked us if
Thanks, Jorge.
Bruce Lee would win a fight, and we were so confused.
Oh, yeah.
But he's calling the hotline, so you know it's somebody big.
He called and said, "What's your name?" And I was like, "I'm just trying to screen the call, man. I don't know. I don't know what's happening. I'm just an intern." Jorge, no.
He's got such a funny voice. Man, I'm just trying to screen the call, man.
Yeah.
Lay off, all right? Good stuff, guys. No, seriously, we're all just
So what is it called again?
messing about.
A decimeter?
It's called a decibel meter.
Decibel meter. That makes sense.
That's kind of lazy.
Well, if that's the name, though. That's the name, right?
Yeah, but
I got a buddy that used
I thought it was
to
gonna be something cooler.
drive around with the Bud alcohol. He had bought one at the what's the name of the fancy store? Brookstone.
Oh.
No, Brookstone. He paid like $200, and he used to have one of those, the Bud alcohol reader. But
Breathalyzer.
there you go. Yeah, that deal.
This guy.
So he used to go to parties with it and everything because he always wanted to be on the safe side. But it's one of those simple names that just kind of adds up. Decibel meter, breathalyzer. You know what I mean?
Yeah, but I don't know. Something like that just seems like it would have a cooler name.
What do you want to call it? A widget?
What's
Gotta
a
have a
widget?
name.
I I don't know. I'll come up with a good name by the end of the show. You wait and see.
All right,
And
let's
we'll
take
change
another
it.
break. Let's take another break just in case something crazy happens in this first hour. It's MMA Junkie Radio on Fight Nation, channel 156. Stay close. We'll be right back.
And goes are some of the best chicks I know. Here we go with more verbal sparring. Take it away, ladies.
Tonight, the U.S. men's national team will look to reach their second consecutive Gold Cup final when they take on Jamaica. SiriusXM FC Channel 157 gets you set for the match with pregame coverage starting at 9 Eastern. Then listen to the match on Fox Sports on SiriusXM Channel 83. After the final whistle, come back to FC 157 for post-match analysis. It's all streaming on your phone and at home on SiriusXM connected devices and speakers. So good luck to the men who are in this Gold Cup. If they win, they will face Mexico, their longtime rival. They defeated Haiti last night 1-0. I actually watched that game. And right now, Peru is playing Chile in the Copa America semifinal with the winner to be facing Brazil on Sunday, who actually is the host nation as well. And Brazil got to the final by beating Argentina 2-0 yesterday. And therefore, completely just ruining Lionel Messi's summer. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
All right, so we talked to Jorge Masvidal earlier. That was a great chat. I already talked to them. They're not calling back. I think that was enough. But he was in good spirits. I honestly thought we were going to get a little bit more of a
standoffish,
straight shooter. Yeah, you know what I mean? Just because of, when he was signing the posters on Embedded. Have you caught any of them?
I caught the first two.
Okay. When he's signing posters on Embedded, he's just, man, I just want to get to the fight. Enough with this already. You know what I mean? Because, so, here's what happens. When the fighters get to town, they have to meet with a Reebok, a UFC Reebok representative. Okay, where's your crew? Okay. What's your size? Here's your stuff. Does it fit? Put this glove on, and everything. And I think they maybe even make them try on the latest trunks or tights or whatever it is they're wearing. That whole little process after flying in, they don't like it. Checking in, I mean, they make it pretty easy for you. You don't really have to stand in line. For the most part, now they just kind of hand you the keys. They hand you an envelope, and in that envelope is usually about $500, and that's like the per diem for the fighter. And then the fighter usually shares that with the cornerman. He'll usually buy them their dinners or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
And then a lot of them like to go to a Whole Foods and Trader Joe's or whatever and just stock up on whatever it is they need. Then they look at their sheet, and that sheet will tell them, okay, downstairs tomorrow at a certain time, you got to do your photo shoot. You got to do an interview with a UFC employee. And that's usually what you see on the big screen if you're ever in the arena. As that music, that little gladiator music's playing in the background. And then they'll have a series of interviews that they have to do. So now throw in what you see, general public, Ultimate Media Day, the open workouts, and all that while losing weight. Now, I know a lot of people that say, sorry, I'm moody. I haven't had dinner yet. Oh, there's a goal by Peru. Woohoo, guys! They're up 1-0. They just scored on Chile, and it was a beautiful goal, right?
That was nice, but it was an error in the back. But yeah,
that's so awesome. So what I was saying was, now I know a lot of people that just get moody when they haven't had, like, they had lunch at noon, and if they haven't eaten by 5 or 6, they actually act bitchy and they use it as an excuse.
That's stupid.
I agree. I agree.
Dumb.
But there are those people, right?
Yeah, I haven't had my energy drink yet.
Imagine these fighters that are like
real.
completely drained. And, they're having to do social media. And on that social media, they're hearing the most barbaric things, the rudest things. You just got off a flight. You got to do a bunch of this. It's pretty bad. Now, that's why they also get paid thousands. Some make even millions or hundreds of thousands and millions. And I know a lot of people are like, hey, break out your violin. No mercy from me. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. But I just figured if I give you a little bit more info, you might just go, oh, I kind of get it. And as long as some of you do, then that's fine. I'm not trying to change everyone's mind.
Yeah, I hear you.
Okay, let's go back to the hotline. And if you want to follow any of these callers that you've heard earlier today, it's 877-FIGHT-93, 877-344-4893. Who do we got, Andre?
All right, let's kick things off right now with Sam over in Bethlehem.
Ooh, one of my favorites. What's up, Sam All Jam?
Hey, what's going on, family? What's good?
Not much. How about you?
It's been a minute. Everything's good, man. Everything's good, man. Good to see y'all. Finally getting a chance to catch the show live versus on podcast. So I decided to give you guys a call.
Right on.
Chime in on that Masvidal topic.
Okay.
It was cool to see you guys talking to him, especially George. You were talking about that embedded situation. I go as far back with you guys that I remember you guys actually sponsored Masvidal because he didn't have a sponsor when he came on the show with you guys and Trig back in the day. So to see how far he's come, that's a good thing. I was just curious what you guys thought, though, playing devil's advocate, assuming that he does beat Askren on Saturday. Not only is he beating a guy who's a former champion in another organization and a highly touted, contender for the title, he's defeating a undefeated guy. Covington fights in 3 weeks. If he beats Lawler, where does Masvidal stand in the pecking order if he wins this fight Saturday?
That question
Especially
gets
coming off
tougher
the
to
victory over
answer
Till.
every year.
He's right behind him.
That we do this job, because you would think, like Go said, Covington's in the pole position because he was a former interim champ, because he's got a great record as a welterweight. I think he's like 8-1. But the UFC, a lot of times they just like to go with the hot ticket. You know what I mean? And if Masvidal does something special, like you said, Sam, against an undefeated former champion of 2 major leagues, and Covington gets a win and maybe doesn't impress, it could be that they side with Masvidal. The UFC they're just tremendous in terms of the input they have on these fights. But we're covering all the bases here. We're saying everybody wins, everybody's healthy. Now what? I would see the UFC possibly siding with Masvidal. I don't know how they would decide, honestly.
What? You do?
Yeah, man, because I've heard behind the scenes that not everyone's a big Colby fan.
Oh,
you know what I mean?
Come on, to that point though, like that. I would say this is the one.
I'm not saying that that's my decision.
Do it.
Oh wow, that was close. I'm not saying that was my decision. I'm just saying, just kind of from what I hear. I could be wrong. Who knows? I mean, maybe they still.
Now, I know Masvidal and Covington are homies.
Yeah.
If Colby Covington gets bypassed for Masvidal, assuming everything plays out the way we're discussing, because they are homies, do you think Covington takes it in stride, or they just say F this and continue his?
Think so?
No, I think they both.
I don't think so.
I think they both. Well, not publicly, but between them, I don't think there'll be any problem. Those guys really seem to be.
No, I don't think there's
really,
any problem
really
with them.
buddies.
I'm just saying Covington with the UFC though.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, of course. He'll be pissed. The other one will be pissed, but I think they'll be happy for each other that at least it was one of them. But we'll see, my man. Both guys got two fighters,
man.
Two great fighters.
Do me a favor, man. When you guys talk to your pops, please extend belated birthday wishes to him. All right, family, and I'll talk to you guys soon.
All right, Sam. Thanks for the call. All right, let's go to Kevin in Chicago. What's up, Kevin?
What's up? Yeah, I made this point to MMA Tonight guys, and they gave me shit for it. I said, give Francis a 205-pounder who's agile and a little bit quick on their feet, and someone who could kind of make them work for it, make them work, dodge the big bomb. And I think that they have a better shot of beating Francis than one of these big lumbering heavyweights like JDS, like Curtis Blades, Cain Velasquez, who should have been retired. I feel like it takes someone who's a little bit agile. You're not going to go power for power with him. You're not going to go size for size with him. You've got to beat him with speed and agility. And, man, all the fights he's won, it's the fighters that are coming forward making a mistake. That's what he does. He makes people make a mistake. JDS threw a sloppy overhand right. Who else? Alistair Overeem, a sloppy hook. Got caught, recaught with the hook. Who else? Cain Velasquez, I don't even know what he was doing. He was just coming in like a herky-jerky style and got uppercutted.
Yeah.
Derek Lewis, what was he doing? He waited. He was patient. He didn't play. He didn't make a mistake. And he ended up winning. Stipe Miocic, he didn't make a mistake and come in. He stayed on the outside and made Ngannou miss, and he gassed out in a round. So I said maybe someone like a Nikita Krylov who can stick and move, stay on the outside, wait till Francis get tired, and then finish him in maybe the fourth, fifth round, third, fourth, fifth round.
The only one I can think of is John Jones. I kind of know where you're going with this, but yeah, I don't think Krylov can do something like that. It's just too hard to avoid that guy at some point.
Right. I mean, look, he struggled with Stipe Miocic, and Daniel Cormier right now is the champ. So one of those two is the likely guy. So I don't know, Kevin. I'm not going to laugh you out of the room and say you're crazy. But I would say, most heavyweights fear other heavyweights, not light heavyweights coming up to heavyweight. I would say, Jones is pretty special, of course, and there might be some other guys. A lot of these light heavyweights, man, they walk around at 235, 240 anyway. They really, really are heavyweights. But we'll see. Let's get through Stipe Miocic and DC first. That's coming up next month. And then we'll see what might be next. But I think it's going to be one of those two for Francis Ngannou. I think Francis Ngannou definitely cemented himself as the number one contender. All right, folks. 1 hour down, 1 hour to go. And when we start off the hour, we will have Diego Sanchez on the show. He's already seated and ready to go. So don't touch that dial. We'll be back in 60 seconds.
Both iPhone and Android carry a feature to make their show more enjoyable. It's called the mute button. Here are those two numbnuts, Gorgeous George and Goes.
All right, let's go. It's the second hour of the MMA Junkie Radio Show. And again, we're joined in studio by Diego Sanchez, who fights Michael Chiesa on Saturday at UFC 239. They are the opening bout. Welcome back, Diego. How you doing?
I'm doing great. Feeling good. Just ready to do my thing Saturday night.
All right, my man. And we love having you here because you bring good energy. And
for
some reason, you put me in the mood that gets me all the way through Saturday. So that I really, really enjoy these fights at my optimum MMA hardcore level.
Well, I've had a long day of media and interviews, but
did they wear you down?
No. I went back to my room. I put my air compression boots on. I sat there, talked to my coach, and I came ready for any questions, anything you got. Shoot it at me, brother.
All right, and we will. All right, so, you want to start off, guys?
I wanted to start off. Now we know what to expect with Diego. Remember last time he was here, you caught us off guard, but you put us in this mood that lasted a week. Usually when a guest leaves, the next day somebody else is there, and it's a new feeling. You left the vibe for about a week. And so what I wanted to ask you was, that was last fight. This is a new fight. Does every fight feel different to you, or have you gotten to the point where now it's just all about Diego and it's kind of the same?
You know what? It has been very different throughout my career. Every fight has been very, very different. Every training camp has been very different. And it's the answer to that question is what you just said. And it is Diego. It's about Diego. What Diego, what phase of life, what phase of mindset, what I've been going through, where I'm at. And I'll tell you right now, last fight was a great fight. I came here, I talked to you guys, I got you excited. I told you guys exactly what I was going to do. I went out there and I did exactly what I was going to do. I got hit one time in the fight. I dominated, and man, poor Mickey Gall. I have not heard from him and where he is doing, what he's doing his next fight. I haven't heard nothing from him. That's because I went inside him and I took his virginity. In a dirty Sanchez kind of way, I give him about 5 good knees to the anus, affected the hemorrhoidal system. That might have been part of why he had kidney failure in the fight, because all the blood was down there in the lower region of his body, and them kidneys were just sucking for that blood.
And then I got hit him in the liver a couple times, then some little blood there to go to the liver, hit him right in that, right in the solar plexus chakra. Bam! Shut down his universe. And, well, I'll be surprised if we see him back ever again in the same fashion when he was on the rise. Because I took that rise and boom, now I got the rise.
Do you remember the older UFCs would have a name attached to them? So, like Vendetta.
Oh, yeah, I do remember that.
If they went back to that and they let you pick the theme for this fight, what would it be? What would be that word?
Yeah, Diego Sanchez versus Michael Chiesa. What's the name of that title?
That one would the name. Okay, I would say explanation point, but since that ain't a word, but let's see. It would probably have to be just conclusion.
Conclusion? I like that.
Conclusion. Okay.
Conclusion. This is the conclusion of 33 fights with the UFC. 33 fights with what was used to be called Zuffa. Now something's called something else. 33 fights, baby. I went into the UFC on the Ultimate Fighter. They brought me into the office. All right. I'm 21 years old, and they said, "All right, we got you. We're halfway through the show. You're still here. Here is your contract. It's the contract we're gonna give you." This is before all the internet and had gotten all big with all the, the cloud wasn't around or nothing like that. This contract was 5-6 inches tall, of real American-made wood paper. All right, this is real paper.
What did it say in there?
Do a bonfire with that contract. I was like, they're like, well, you can send it to your lawyers if you need to send it to your lawyers, and I'm like, really? I'm living my dream right now. I don't know. I'm gonna be like, no, I don't like this contract. I'm going back home. I do not want to fight in the UFC. No, sign a contract. All right. Little did I know, I gave everything away except my soul. They didn't put the soul part in there. They couldn't get. That was the only part that couldn't get me. But now we're 17 years later, and here I am. And I just that guy that book you can get off the shelf. It's just got too much good story. It's just got too much life inside of it. And I've had ups, I've had downs, I've had title shots, I've had fight of the nights, I've had this, and a lot of blood, and a lot of violence, and a lot of crazy, and a lot of mystified weirdness. And so, at the end of the day, the book is still there. It's a classic. That book is a classic. It's one of those ones you can't read this, you can't download it on Google, man. You got to get that book, you got to blow the dust off it, and it's still there. And it's still a classic, legendary book.
Let's talk about one of the chapters in that book.
Well,
Hall of Fame on Friday.
Hall of Fame is definitely that the Clay Guida fight is definitely one of those chapters.
Yeah.
But 33 fights, and you know what? This is my last fight. This is my last fight with the UFC on my contract, and Sean Shelby, try to get me in to sign some more. And I'm like, that's all great. I've been doing that for 17 years. Every time I get almost to the end of my contract, here we go. We're going to sign you back up for this. All right, yes. Even in crucial times, Dana White called me up. Oh, Diego, let me talk to your manager. Sign me up. Get a little extra hotel room thrown on there. Throw an extra 10 G's, 5 G's on there, And so now I'm at this point where I finally am in the position to put myself in a point of leverage, and I value myself very high. And I'm a pioneer. I'm a legend. I'm a Hall of Famer now, and I'm here to get back on what I a lot of them years, Diego. Just right here on the shelf, man. Hard work. Blood, sweat, tears, everything for the company man, the definition of a company man. Go to war for this company, a warrior.
Are they your first choice if everything's equal amongst?
Absolutely, yeah. Oh,
Okay.
absolutely. You know, I want to finish my career in the UFC.
Okay.
But as you can see, I'm still young, fresh, looking good. You know, so no, I'm not the old man that Michael Chiesa thinks I am. He may think he's fighting the old man, you know, and that's why he wanted this fight so bad. But he's fighting a real man, and he's gonna find out on Saturday. The little fight with Mickey Gall, that was just a little tune-up, man. I was just starting to finally get my stride. I was barely coming out of my divorce. I was barely getting back on track. Things are full stride now. Things are full stride. I'm moving different. I'm fighting different. I have completely reinvented myself. As you guys have probably heard, I left Team Jackson Wink. That chapter just got closed.
So you're reinvigorated, re-assimilated, and now you relocated?
Dude, reassimilated, redigested. Dude, it's a new Diego. I promise you, this fight is a new Diego. The one thing that you're gonna get that you've always seen with Diego Sanchez is this: I fight every fight like it's my last fight. That's been a huge key to my success. I always go in there with the mindset of, you know what? I don't know if the next day is given. I don't know what's going to happen in my life. But I know that I love fighting, and I know that I have more passion and corazon for this sport than any other fighter in the UFC.
Nobody would argue
that they ever even stepped in the octagon. And this Diego Sanchez that's coming in for Michael Chiesa, I got my head on straight. I know exactly what I'm going to do to this guy. And I've paid my visits to the ER. I done had my CT scans. I done had my stitches. I done had the nose that affects my breathing now. I done had the splits, the bloods, the tears, the injuries. I had all that. And you know what? I'm an overcomer. I overcame it all. I'm still here. And that dusty book, it done got up. It done got air compressor cleaned it up. You know, it's this book is ready, and it's holding its value. And so I'm coming into this fight, man. I'm a huge underdog. I think I'm like something. If I look, let me see if I can look and see.
Right here, actually.
Let me see if I can look and see. I don't know. I think it was like 300.
Okay. Minus 330.
Minus
Chiesa, you plus 270.
Plus 270. All right, so I'm plus 270 underdog. They really counted me out again, and it's a bad move for the odds makers here in Vegas, and I don't know what it is. I think someone's making money on it. Someone knows the Diego Sanchez that's coming. Someone knows. Someone that's making these plays knows, and someone's making good money on this. The bank is going to have to pay out, and after this fight is over, the UFC bank going to have to pay out too. You know, because I'm going to find out what my value is, and that's if I have to find out in Bellator or other organizations. I'm gonna see, I'm coming with what I want to see, All right, and look, Uncle Dana, you know what, man, I want to finish here in the UFC. I'm Diego Sanchez, original Ultimate Fighter.
Hall of Famer.
I'm not done in any way. I'm not slowing down. I'm just getting started, and that last fight was just a start. And my feet are grounded. My feet have got some roots. These roots are deep, and I got power coming. I got power. I'm gonna finish this guy in the first round.
Diego, did that last fight, the result, the finish, does it feel as good as when you were a young guy at 2002, finishing people? King of the Cage, those early fights. Is it still the same feeling, or is it a different euphoria when you?
At the point in the Mickey Gall fight. I was just going to punish this guy. That was my plan, was just to punish this guy, to hurt him, to send him off in the stretcher. I wanted to literally, the whole time I was just breathing the whole fight. I could see everything coming. The vision had changed. I could see every punch. I was able to flow. In the stand-up, it wasn't like Diego Sanchez just going to get crazy, get wild, and try to throw strikes like in the past, like trying to be a kickboxer, trying to be a wild striker, brawler. No, man, I just was like, you know what, I'm just going to breathe. And was just breathing. I just went out there and I breathed. I just breathed the whole fight. And then everything he was throwing, I could see everything coming. Matter of time. Pow, pow. All right, got him. Pow, pow. Flowing. And then it was just becoming. It was so easy for me. It was like literally the easiest fight of my career. It was so easy for me that I just was like, all right, I'm just gonna keep breathing. He's gassing out. I give him a shot to the body. He's gonna die. So I got him with the liver kick. Then I got him with the knee to the solar plexus chakra. And so once I got him with the solar plexus chakra and the liver shot, I was like, man, this guy don't got much left, man. This guy don't got much left. I'm gonna just ride him out a little bit, land my elbows. I didn't throw no punches the whole fight. I didn't throw my hands. I was looking to cut him, and my plan was to crush his face, send him to go get some reconstructive surgery. And that's savage. It's bad intent. And the violence and the nightmare is real. And I learned this nightmare shit by going through some nightmare shit. Now I know. All right, it's like Nate Diaz said: you kill or you kill or be killed. And he said it. He was very smart when he said that, and it's very real. Now you got guys like Chiesa. This guy's a wrestler. This guy's an athletic competitor. He is ready. He put in his tweet. He's ready to compete. And you ain't gonna compete with a killer. You can't compete with a killer. Cause he's coming to kill you. You know, I'm coming off of his head. You know, the warrior done been a warrior for the UFC, a warrior for God, a warrior for my family, a warrior for New Mexico, a warrior for Albuquerque. Like I done been a warrior for a long time. It's time for me to get my crown. It's time for me to be a king. And it's a king mindset. It's a change in the mindset. If you do what you have to do to see what you have to see, to be what you have to be. And that's what I'm doing right now. I'm seeing myself as a young, vibrant, healthy man that is on fire in his prime. And that is what you're going to get Saturday night.
Love it.
Is a youngest, healthiest, vibrant fighter that you ever seen out of Diego Sanchez. I've done got the experience. I've done had the wars. And this mind is sharp. And it is ready to kill. And it's going to be a big conclusion, explanation mark. I'm going to let everyone in the UFC, I'm going to let everyone in the world and in the universe know my value come Saturday night.
All right, this is Diego Sanchez here in our studio. He's fighting at UFC 239 on Saturday versus Michael Chiesa. It's the opening bout. I mean, this is a firecracker of a bout. Mm-hmm. It's going to get things started for what's an excellent card that the UFC's put together, including 2 title fights and, of course, that heated rivalry fight between Jorge Masvidal and Ben Askren. Let's not forget about Luke Rockhold versus Jan Blachowicz as well. Mm-hmm. It's a money fight. All right, let's take a quick break. You're listening to MMA Junkie Radio on Fight Nation, Channel 156. We'll be right back.
Your paradise.
Exactly. They are Gorgeous George and Goes. And this is MMA Junkie Radio.
Don't forget, Saturday's event is a pay-per-view. You got to go through ESPN Plus, which I recommend for $4.99 a month. You'll get a ton of action. The UFC and ESPN are in bed together for the next 7 years, and they got all the fights. 7 years. And you get a lot of additional original programming as well. So they've hit it out of the park. You also get a lot of stuff on ESPN, ESPN2. So that's your way there to order the pay-per-view, which has gone down in price now from $64.99 to $59.99. All right, so we have Diego Sanchez here. We just have a couple more minutes with him. Diego Sanchez fighting Michael Chiesa on Saturday night. And Diego was telling us during the break, look, that might be the way it is with Chiesa being friendly at all. But you were saying Gilbert Melendez is a guy that you have a ton of respect for. Have you seen him? You guys are on the same fight card.
Oh, yeah.
Have you seen him around?
I haven't seen him. I'm busy doing my thing right now, man. I'm like this.
I see.
Got my focus is on my focus. But I have been wanting to see him and see how he's doing, because he's a real underdog too. And I'm like, I want to talk to him, see how he's doing. I don't know, I don't know if he's aging like me. Even though he's younger than me, but still, like these guys age at a different time. They're on a different time schedule than me. They're aging, at a different time. And but he's cutting weight still. He's cutting a lot of weight. See, I weigh 173 right now. I'm gonna weigh in 171. I'm gonna fight 173 again. Like, dude, ain't no one else doing that in the UFC. Ain't no one else doing that in the world. Ain't no one got the big enough balls like me to go in there and fight these Goliaths, to be a David and come in here and say, you know what, I'm going to be a giant killer, because I see a giant. My sight sees Kamaru Usman, the Nigerian knockoff, and I'm like, there's only one nightmare in the UFC. I'm coming for the UFC gold strap.
Oh, shit. I love it. All right, Goes, you got anything?
That was actually, I kind of like that nickname, the Nigerian knockoff. That was clever.
I like it too.
Yeah.
All right, Diego, we got to end the segment here. First of all, thanks for doing this on Fight Week like you've done the last couple times. It's always great to come in here and feel your energy and just get into your mind and your mindset for the upcoming fight. Appreciate the free agency period you'll be in, because I think you're right. You're going to find out your value. I think a lot of fighters stress out over it. I say enjoy it.
Yeah, yeah.
Because you're going to get a nice payday from somebody.
Yeah.
And like you said, the UFC is the front runner, so hopefully you do stay with them.
I'm a true face of the UFC, and now going in the Hall of Fame, and
congratulations again for that.
And going out on 3 excitement. If you aren't entertained, come on, this is the sport of entertainment. It is excitement, and that is what brings your value. And so, like, I'm giving you excitement, and I'm giving you energy, and I'm getting you feeling these vibes. That's what I bring to the fans of the UFC. That's what I've been bringing to the fans for a long time, and I'm going to continue wherever it is that I fight. And I'm sure that it'll be here in the UFC.
Right on, my man. Well, I hope it doesn't sound like you have much of a weight cut, so whatever it is, I hope it's a safe weight cut, and I hope you have a great fight on Saturday night, and thanks again for stopping by the studio.
Thank you, and I love you, Vegas. This is my home away from home, so all you people out there that are listening, UFC and Vegas, I love you guys.
There you go. Now follow Diego on Twitter at Diego Sanchez UFC. Let him know you heard him on the at MMA Junkie Radio Show. Burke in the house. Thank you, sir.
505, baby.
All right.
Yeah.
All right, folks. We are going to take another quick break here. I think I want to get this one out of the way. So, Andre, if you're good with that, let's just run this quick commercial. It's MMA Junkie Radio on Fight Nation Channel 156. We will be right back.
Now the real show begins. Take it away, boys.
It's really pretty hard to top that walk-in song, right?
Pretty much.
I mean, it's got to be top 5, top 3, where the song just identifies the fighter. And so that's the walk-in music for Donald Cowboy Cerrone, who will be joining us here hopefully very soon. I guess he's finishing up a signing right now, and then he'll be over here at the Mandalay Bay shortly, and we're going to talk a lot. Now, we also have Dave Manley from MMA Bobblehead.
Hey.
MMABobblehead.com. We call them bobbleheads, but it's MMABobblehead.com is the website, and he, of course, is a good friend of the show. He is the creator of these models right here that sit on our desk and that have sat on our desk for the last couple of years. He's also been gracious enough to share the debuts of the bobbleheads for many of these, like Bruce Buffer and Brian Ortega, and the latest was Joanna Jędrzejczyk.
Yeah.
So that's been pretty awesome for you to share that with us.
Yeah, it's quite a difference coming when I'm not sharing it or when I'm not debuting it for the first time, because I got to tell you, George, when I debut it for the first time, I am a nervous wreck, man. I put so much time and effort into this, and I want people to like it so much that when I come normally to the Junkie studio, I'm sweating. I'm just so nervous. But now, during International Fight Week, man, I feel I'm just like high as a kite. I'm like a kid during Christmas time.
But after Picasso painted like all of these classics, after a while.
Like what, George?
Huh?
Like what?
Like the Sistine Chapel? Was it him? Was it him?
Yeah,
All
Leonardo da Vinci.
Leonardo da Vinci, all right, whatever. So he paints all these paintings, right? At some point in time, he's just Picasso. You know what I mean? And so you're kind of like the Picasso of the bobblehead. So I hope that anxiety starts to go away, because your work is awesome.
Thank you.
From the beginning till the very end, and like Goz has always told you, even the box, we look forward to see, what kind of expression you and the fighter come up with, what kind of creativity, and then we open the box, and of course we're always treated to a special moment in which you thought, from watching them fight would be great pose for them.
Yeah, and it's not only me, George, and I can't take the credit, because the fighter is along every step of the way, and that's what I love most about making these. It's not what Dave Manley thinks is a cool moment or whatever. It's what the fighter thinks too. So I don't move to phase 3 without the fighter approving phase 2 first. Mm-hmm. If they don't like the color of his shorts, or they don't like the anatomy or whatever, the pose, I tweak it until they're happy. I want them to love it too, and then therefore I want the fans to love it. But thank you for saying that, man. I take so much pride into making these, and I feel like I'm getting better and better. The next 2 that are coming out that I'm working on right now, mind blowing. I don't want to give too much away, but man, I am so excited to release, especially this Christmas release I have. I can't wait, man.
Both of them will be in time for Christmas?
Yeah, both of them are going to be. I'm going to have 2 in time for Christmas, but the one that I'm releasing right around Christmas, like in December, it's just mind blowing. And I'm working with this athlete, and this athlete's just giving me everything that I need, which is, not necessarily the case a lot. Sometimes it's hard to get. These athletes are very, very busy, and sometimes they don't. They're not on a time crunch like I am. This is my baby, and they have their life and their fight career. So, but this athlete that I'm working with, come December, they're giving me everything I got, everything they got. So it's great.
Great.
Yeah.
Now, 2 things. Let's have you move your mic up.
Yeah, sorry about that.
And 2, that might be my new hero. He is triple fisting beers.
What?
That is very, very impressive.
Yeah, that is
Are
impressive.
those all for you, or are you
3
sharing?
Modelos.
Oh, he's sharing. Okay. I was like, wow. He literally walked up and said, give me 3. What's up with that? And he's just going to pound them all.
Give me 3 and open it for me, please.
I mean, only Stone Cold can, do 2 at a time. And I was like, wow, that's a new Stone Cold over there.
So I was going to tell you, Dave, you may know this person. I'm not sure. But I got so jealous the other day on social media. I saw somebody, and they said, I only need 2 more for the collection or something. But the way they had it set up was they built these little shelves, and then they put the box and the fighter. It looked so cool, and I thought I got so. Do you know who that was?
No,
Did you see that?
It just blows me.
I'm gonna have to look it up, but that was awesome, and you have one that I don't think you'll ever release, but will we ever get to see the picture of that?
Of
a fighter that you were gonna do one, but you can't release.
You know what? I want to. Because I have quite, not necessarily, but I have quite a few flat fighters that I've made for several reasons. because I'm a fan of theirs and they have no idea that I'm making it and I just want to practice. There could be, we have come to kind of an agreement. Like I think the person that you're talking about.
What did he write?
He wrote the name of the fighter.
Why do you want why do you want to go on LaughingKings.com right now? I don't understand.
That one was amazing when you showed me the artwork for that. Oh,
thank you.
My God.
I brought it here to Vegas, so I'm going to swing by and I'm going to show it to you, the prototype.
Okay.
But, sometimes you go all the way. And you work with the fighter all the way, and at the end of the day, you can't get the ball over the line. For some reason, whatever, sometimes it just doesn't work out. And right now, I'm in that position with this particular fighter that you're talking about. To me, it's a masterpiece.
It is.
It is a masterpiece bobblehead. It might be, and I'm a pretty modest guy naturally, but it might be the best bobblehead that I've ever seen. And I'm so excited. And it's such an iconic moment in MMA. Mm-hmm. And I hope this fighter just says, you know what, fuck it, do it. I don't know what's holding him back, to be honest. I don't know what holds any of these guys back, and I'll never know. I'll bang my head to the wall, trying to figure it out. But this one in particular, I got the green light. All right, stop. I don't know why, but yeah.
We were rooting for you on the reality show, by the way.
Oh, God damn it,
5-minute
George.
proposal.
God damn it.
I was
George.
letting everybody know after you left here that you were on your way to Miami.
Yeah.
This was the night, and everybody sent positive vibes.
Thank you, man. And I felt it, and I needed it, and, it was quite an experience just to be chosen. George, I got to tell you, hundreds and hundreds of people auditioned for this show. And this show was judged by the masterminds of e-commerce, right? Which I don't know shit about, to be honest with you. But just to get the mentorship from these guys was just a massive, massive prize for me. Not to mention the $50,000. But like I said, hundreds of people. I think they ended up saying like 350 people auditioned, and I made it to the final four. So that's I'm pretty happy about that. Didn't win, but I learned. So.
Yeah, and that was a trip from hell too.
Oh my God!
A lot of stuff, a lot of little trips and obsticles, along the way that you had the power to do.
Yeah, a lot of stuff happened, and you just overcome just any obstacle that you can.
You want to get that?
Yeah.
Yeah, go ahead. All right, so folks, we've been telling you, and I just want to give some quick reminders. Tomorrow we won't be here, so there won't be a show loaded up for iTunes as well, or nothing on SiriusXM. Andre, can you confirm, are all the shows off on SiriusXM tomorrow, or is it like a channel-wide thing?
Right down the line tomorrow, we're in the clear. Friday, it'll be only our MMA shows to prep the world for UFC 239.
Okay, all right, just making sure. Now, so we will be off completely tomorrow, but we will be back on Friday. We'll break down some fights with Dan Tom. A few fighters are going to visit the studio. So it's going to be fun times as always. Fridays are some of my favorite shows because the next day we're, 24 hours away from a fight day. So we definitely look forward to that. And look, we don't take too many days off, but maybe it's best with everything going on. Tonight is the World MMA Awards. We certainly hope we take home Best Media Source. And then we're also hoping for our colleague, John Morgan, to take down Best Journalist. Now, thank you to everyone that already voted for us. The results will be the results. Also, quick update, Peru is beating Chile. They are now in the second half, and they are up 2-0. Diego was kind of in the middle of one of his answers, but I saw it out of the corner of my eye, and I was like,
you wanted to jump, huh?
I did, yeah. I should have just said yes, because that's something that he's familiar with. But, we only got, is Marco still on hold, by the way?
Yeah, is he still on hold, Andre? That would be a great time to bring him on. And I believe Andre's probably doing something right now.
All right. Ready to go,
What's up?
Andre.
Is
Marco still on hold?
Let's see. Yes, he is. Let's get Marco on.
Right now, let's bring him on. Let's see what he's got to say. Marco from Chile. How you doing?
Marco from Hueco, you peruano cochino.
He was on hold when it was 0-0, and now it's 2-0.
Oh, boy.
Yeah. How you doing, brother?
I'm suffering so much right now, but it is what it is, man. If Peru wins, they deserve to be in the finals.
I know, but if Peru wins, they're going to be playing a team that just beat the shit out of them 5-0 in the group stage. So that can't be too great of a feeling.
What matters is now.
Yeah, that's true.
What matters is now.
Nice attempt by Chile. A header that pounced off one of the posts there. I mean, it was really, really cold, close, Marco. I don't know if you're watching it, but wow, that almost went in. That would have been a beautiful goal.
Right now. It's hurting my heart, dude. It's really hurting my heart. I was gonna call. Initially, I was gonna call to talk shit, but 2 goals happened ever since I called, so I can't talk shit anymore.
I was gonna say that. So when our producer gave us the note that he called, it was still 0-0. And so he must have been on hold when that first goal happened, and then when the second one must have been torture.
He headed it in, and then boom, it goes off the post right there. But watch the header. Oh, they keep showing it a little bit too late.
I just called in to say, if you guys win, congrats. If not, I'm still going to talk shit. So I will find out tomorrow. Peace out, guys.
All right.
Talk to you on Friday.
All right. See you, Marco.
Peace out.
How's our boy looking?
10 minutes.
10 minutes.
Okay.
But that was 8 minutes.
Yeah, and he said he's coming in hot. He's coming in hot. First of all, he apologized. Second of all, he's getting dropped off. And third of all, he said he's coming in hot.
Okay.
So I said, go through the casino.
Why don't we do a little bit of the Dave Manley and MMA Bobblehead info that I wanted to do here. And then we'll get to Cowboys portion when he gets here, because we might be a little bit limited on time.
Yeah.
We go off at 6:59. So Dave Manley and MMA Bobblehead is going to have they're going to have 2 opportunities for you to come out and meet some fighters that have been a part of they're part of the his Bobblehead family. And the first event is going to be Friday at Blondie's, 5 to 7 p.m. Excuse me.
Mm-hmm.
And that's with Bruce Buffer and Donald Cowboy Cerrone.
That's right. And Cowboy's getting there at 5 p.m. and he's going until 6:30, and then Bruce is coming in at 6:30. He's going to stay till 8, and that's at Blondie's at the Miracle Mile Mall. It's going to be a different type of signing, George, because it's at a sports bar, and we're really emphasizing let's have some drinks, let's have some food, and let's have a lot of fun. Whereas a typical signing for an MMA fan, sometimes they're like a little bit of a cattle call. And sometimes you're standing in the freaking sun for a long time. This is going to be a lot more chill and a lot more fun.
Mm-hmm. With drinks.
And with drinks.
Yeah.
With drinks.
Then on Saturday, for those of you that can't get in on Friday, or maybe your agenda's filled up, Saturday is an opportunity at the Las Vegas Fight Shop between 1 and 3 p.m. And Saturday, he's going to be bringing Donald Cerrone is going to be back in action, and along with Brian Ortega.
Brian Ortega's coming in hot at 11 a.m. and he's ready to go. He's going to be there for 1 hour only. We're only limited to the first 50 people. We got 50 bobbleheads, so if you want to meet Brian, you got to get there early. And I've gotten a lot of messages. You know, I'm there. So if you want to secure that spot for sure, call Las Vegas Fight Shop and tell them that you want to pick up a bobblehead, and that'll secure your spot in the meeting Brian. And then right after that, Cowboy Cerrone from 1 to 3 p.m. And I can't wait. We're going to be doing raffles, and we're giving away stuff, and we're going to have a silent auction where we're raising money for Cowboy's first annual kids camp, summer kids camp, where he's bringing in kids from all over the country, and he's paying for it. So all the kids come for free, and they're going to have the best time of a kid's life. You know, shooting guns, boating, dirt bike riding, campfire, learning martial arts from Cowboy, and he's hands-on. And I'm really excited raising money for this charity. It's awesome to see these guys do this type of stuff.
Yeah, it does sound like fun. Can I put in the drawing? I mean, I'd like to win a trip to go out there and do all that.
George, let me
I'm a 49-year-old kid, but I'm a kid at heart, man.
Well, before he gets here, and I know we're on such limited time, I got to tell you what we're doing on a silent auction at both places, at Blondie's on Friday and at the Las Vegas Fight Shop on Saturday. We're doing a silent auction for Cowboy. Just gave me this today to auction off. It's a cowboy hat, not just the cowboy hat that he picked up at Cowboy Hats Are Us. This is a cowboy hat that he wore for a long time, and it has dirt and sweat and all these markings on it. I said, what is this? These markings on this? He goes, it's bull slobber.
That's
what he said. He says bull slobber.
You want to take a picture with it, guys?
Sure.
Really? He's a little bit of a germaphobe. That's why.
And I said, come on, man. I said, come on. That's not bull slobber. He goes, yeah, it is.
It does look like bull slobber.
He goes, when I rode bulls.
Picture of me.
He goes, when I rode bulls, they slobber all over you.
Wow.
And I'm like, holy shit.
So the bull's got a lot of nerve, right? On top of the fact that he's trying to, like, buck you off, run you over, kick you. He actually slobbers all over
He
you.
slobbers all over you too. But I mean, how generous is that? Cowboy giving up his
It's
bull
very generous. Well,
slobber
for one, you said the kids' camp is free?
for the kids.
Yeah.
Because you know why? Because Cowboy's paying for it.
Yeah.
And that's why we're raising money for
Wow,
to
that's
help
awesome.
them out. Yeah.
So all these kids get to come out to the BMF ranch in Albuquerque, New Mexico, and partake in all these fun activities.
Mhm.
Wow, it doesn't get
For
any better
free.
than that. It's like a fantasy camp, for like when adults go and they want to be with Dodgers, their spring
rock and
training or
roll.
something like that. Yeah.
Well, listen to this. It doesn't stop there. What else he's auctioning off, and you can bid on this right now, and I can tell you that the bid is super low, is he's auctioning off a trip for 2. He's never done this before, ever, to the BMF ranch for the weekend.
What?
And he's going to pick you up from the airport, take you back to the ranch.
He's actually got a landing strip on his ranch.
I
Did you
didn't know that. No,
Yeah.
I did not know
so
that.
if you have a little Cessna, if you're the winner, but you're also fortunate enough to own one of those little Cessnas, you can actually land.
Right. That would be sick. Anyway, you get to go to the BMF ranch as an adult with your buddy or whoever, and you get to do all these things that I just talked about that the kids do, but with Cowboy hands-on as adults. So I was talking to Cowboy about it today in the RV. I mean, it's going to be more of an adult trip, to the BMF ranch. But talk about an amazing experience if you're a Cowboy Cerrone fan. So you can bid on. I think the winning bid right now is like $1,000, something ridiculously low. So
where's all this bidding taking place?
Yeah, so we kind of all put this together the last second, just like a few days ago. So we don't have like a real proper landing place. But if you go to either my Instagram or Cowboy's Instagram, in both of our bios, you can find the link. You just click on the link and you can do the bidding from there. So MMA Bobblehead on Instagram, or go to Cowboy Cerrone's Instagram and go to his bio and click on there as well. But talk about a fantasy camp, just like you were saying, man.
What would be the first thing you do if you won? Out of all the little fun activities.
First thing I want to do is get the martial arts lesson right out of the way. Get
Really?
the workout right out of the way. Work out as hard as I can. Have Cowboy teach me some stuff, and then just start having fun and popping open the buds.
How about you guys?
Shooting.
I
definitely want to go shooting with a cow. When would you not want to go shooting with a cowboy?
Right.
I gotta wear the hat though. I look stupid in hats, but I would wear it for cowboy.
I'm wondering how much fun it might be to rope a steer or something like that. I don't know if I have to be aboard another animal, or if I can just stand there and try it. But I would not even know how to do the lasso and all that. But I'd love to see at least him do it.
Let me ask
be
you,
out there and check it out.
Let me ask you this: you get to go, George, no matter what, but you have to ride a bull. Would you do it?
A baby bull.
See,
I'd do a real one.
You got to ride a bull.
A real bull?
You got to ride a real bull. You know what? They shave off the horns. You know how they have the dull horns?
No, it's not that. I have no fear of it. I would do it. It's this bad knee that I have.
Oh, yeah.
So toss out if my knee is rehabbed by the time this happens, and they go, "Would you like to try it?" I would do it. I'm not too scared about the bull, that part of it, but it's more the knee. However, when he said baby bull, then I might be more likely to go, yeah, maybe.
Yeah, but there might be photos out there of George on a baby bull, and we don't want that. Baby bull.
So, okay, here's the actual link.
Yeah.
And that way there'll be a little bit more of a direction there for people. Well, no, I guess no. Maybe you're right. The best place, because this is quite a long IRL.
Yeah. It's
the best thing is to go to Dave Manley's MMA Bobblehead Instagram bio, and right there's a link for the Cowboy Cerrone silent auction and fight week event information. It says www.eventbrite.com with a longer URL there. Excuse me. Or you can go to Donald Cowboy Cerrone's, and it's there as well. And this is really, really great stuff that he's doing. Anything that has to do, first of all, with the kids, I think is just outstanding. So I don't know if maybe Papa Cowboy, maybe this came to him now that he's a different Donald Cerrone. Now he's a father, or we'll ask him when he gets here where the inspiration came from this. But I just think it's outstanding, and I'm sure the kids are going to have a great time.
Yeah, how could you not? And you get to always grow up saying, hey, I went to Donald Cerrone's camp, his summer camp. I mean, that stays with you for the rest of your life.
Yeah, no doubt.
Yeah.
And don't forget, one more time, on Fridays at Blondie's inside the Miracle Mile, which is inside the Planet Hollywood, from 5 to 7 p.m., you can come out and meet. It's a autograph session there for Donald Cerrone and Bruce Buffer, and they'll have the bobbleheads there. You get to meet Dave as well, the creator of these models. And then on Saturday, he's repeating, except he's going to the Las Vegas Fight Shop, which, by the way, that place is so awesome.
It's wall to wall. Just if you're an MMA
combat
nerd,
sports,
love it.
Yeah, if you're a combat sports fan, and I'm throwing that in there because I've seen so much stuff with the Money Team. But if you're into combat sports, go check that out, man. You're really, really gonna dig it. So that one's from 1 to 3 on Saturday, and Donald Cerrone will be back with Dave, and they will have Brian Ortega there as well.
Yeah, can't wait. Biggest week of the year for all of us MMA fans for sure. I'm soaking it in, loving every second of it.
So here's what we're going to do. We're going to do a little producing on the fly. Obviously, Don's a little late, so we'll go as far as we can with our SiriusXM audience. At some point, we have to bid you adieu, but we'll continue on YouTube.
Okay.
So if you want to keep seeing what Cowboy has to say, we can do a little bit after on YouTube as well.
There you go, and that's youtube.com/MMA Junkie Video. In fact, I think that's him. No,
I have an update.
No, that's too big of a fella right there.
I have an update on my Apple Watch, pulling in right now.
Okay,
Nice.
Very, very cool. So. How is Donald Cerrone? It turned out he didn't have a broken orbital bone, so knowing him, he's probably fiending for a fight, right? Or does he seem like he wants to take some time?
I was just telling my fiance Sharon this just a couple hours ago that he is the most active guy I have ever met in any aspect of life, period. When I talk to Cowboy on the phone, there's always like some weird noise going on in the background. I go, "Hey, what is that? What are you doing there?" He's like, "I'm drilling some 2x4." I'm like, "Come on, man, really?" And
that kind of drilling.
Yeah. Or the other day he was laying tile. Laying tile. I can imagine he's like, talking on the phone with, holding the phone between his shoulder and his ear. He's laying tile.
I thought you were going to say he's wakeboarding or something.
Yeah, I'm sure he is.
I mean, now the phones can dip in the water, so he can probably take a call while he's doing it.
Seriously, man, that guy is an active dude. And today I went over to the PI to meet him at his RV, which is incredible, by the way. I didn't even know they make RVs like this.
Was it the Ultimate Behemoth?
Ultimate. Is that an RV?
When you went in there, did he go, "Behold"?
Dude, I went in there and my mouth dropped. I didn't even know that they made things like
Some of them have garages now. Is that one of them? Remember Misha showed us? Hers actually has a garage.
Come on.
Yeah.
I swear to you, there's an actual garage.
Wow. Yeah. I don't know.
So it opens up in the back, and you can put in like a
dirt
Forerunner or something like that.
Wow.
Dirt bikes. Yeah. It's not like a conventional house garage or whatever.
It's just unbelievable,
Did
man.
it have a satellite dish?
Oh, it had everything.
Because I had a buddy who had the Ultimate Behemoth. It had its own satellite beaming down to him.
Dude, it had everything. I mean, I would be happy living in this thing for the rest of my life. I mean, it's so, it's just unbelievable.
You would leave Cardiff?
Probably not.
Yeah,
if I could live in there, though.
You kind of love Cardiff,
yeah. But anyway, the point I was trying to make was he drove here himself from the ranch, 9 hours. And I was like, did anyone else drive? No, he drove himself. Just a good dude, man. Just an all-around good dude. And I'm so lucky, George. I'm so blessed to, be involved like this, getting to know these guys on a different level than just fighting and what you see on TV.
By the way, if Cowboy's coming, we should have some Budweiser for him, shouldn't we?
Yes, we should.
See if Natalie can bring a bucket of Budweiser.
Absolutely.
It looks like we have a couple fellas that can help us out with that, right? With that situation. All right. Donald Cerrone will be coming in soon. And remember, SiriusXM audience, you can catch our show in commercial free and in HD quality on the SiriusXM app. So if you missed any of our guests from earlier in the week or from today, you can check us out that way. Also, if you ever want to see some of the video attached to our website, it's youtube.com/MMA Junkie Video. And that's where we'll include a little bit of the overtime here when Donald Cerrone arrives here to our studio. Now, for more information on the silent auction, you can go to @MMA Bobblehead on Instagram. So it's instagram.com/MMA Bobblehead. And let me see what Donald Cerrone's is. I imagine it's probably Donald Cerrone or... You know his Instagram, Dave?
His Instagram is... I don't know it exactly. I think it's like Cowboy something.
I'll look it up.
Yeah. You guys
looks like it's Cowboy Cerrone. So on either one of them, by the way, he's got a few more followers than you.
It's just a couple.
Yeah.
He's
got 1.5 million followers.
Unbelievable.
That's tremendous.
Yeah.
Yeah, so if you go to either one of the bios, the links will be there, at Cowboy Cerrone or at MMA Bobblehead. Also, don't forget that we are off tomorrow. So we will not be here. In fact, the whole channel is off, but we will be back on Friday. It's fight week, folks, so we can't take the 4-day weekend off or nothing like that. Now, fantasy football players, got some news for you. It is fantasy football season, and Sirius XM Fantasy Sports Radio is helping you win. Listen to the best fantasy football analysts for player rankings, draft strategy, and everything you need to draft a championship team. Get the edge and start preparing for your draft now with Fantasy Sports Radio, Sirius 210, XM87, and streaming on your phone and at home on Sirius XM connected devices and speakers. All right, it looks like Cowboys coming in now.
I just saw a guy running through the casino in a cowboy hat. I swear to God.
Right there, Natalie, please. Right there's fine. Yeah. All right. So joining us now, and Sirius XM audience, we'll get them for a couple minutes. Otherwise, you can go to youtube.com/MMA Junkie Video.
Please.
The one and only Donald Cowboy Cerrone. How about that? We got some beers for you? Thank you.
Whew, I'm out of breath.
Hey, you're a cardio king. You shouldn't be out of breath.
Yeah, when I'm training, I've been on a day drinking Dawn, Ben, so.
Oh, okay. He's not faking it, folks. He really is huffing and puffing here. But we figured, hey, we can't greet the Cowboy and not have some Budweiser there.
Salud, huh?
Yeah.
Salud. Salud.
Cheers,
Thank
Dave.
you, guys.
Cheers. Right. So, Cowboy, we have a couple minutes here on Sirius XM, but just wanted to tell you real fast because we are going to go into an overtime on YouTube. Phenomenal what you're doing for the kids.
Thank you.
Dave, we've already talked about this. We've already led people to the appropriate links and everything, but still just maybe a quick minute on what spurred this on for you to do that.
Oh, man. I had a couple buddies and all their kids come out, and they're like, man, you should just do this. And I was like, all right, let's do this. You know, let's bring out the kids and just show them a good time, man, give back. And all the kids that are coming out, most of the parents, they're into some kind of martial arts, whether it be wrestling, jiu-jitsu, or striking. So a lot of the kids are already coming out. I had 150 emails, so choosing 114 kids out of that. Yeah, it was crazy.
Wow.
So I picked 24. I went a little more than I was supposed to. Kind of like you're running over here, I ran over too. So
24 kids get to come out this summer and hang out with you. Wow, that's awesome. And you're covering it all.
Covering every drop of it. And if you think just feeding 24 kids, right? Snacks, drinks,
right.
Fuel.
Yeah, fuel on the boat. So that's easy, $500 a day on my boat. So, but yeah, I don't want the kids. I don't want only to have like fortunate kids out there, right? So that's why I offered it free because I want everybody across the board to come out and enjoy the experience.
Okay. Sirius XM audience, we will see you on Friday. Remember, we're off tomorrow, and big thanks to our guests today, including Jorge Masvidal and Diego Sanchez, and of course Donald Cerrone. Now, if you want to catch any of this overtime, go to youtube.com/MMA Junkie Video. We'll see you all then on Friday, folks. All right, and we're going to continue here with some overtime. We got Donald Cowboy Cerrone, UFC lightweight. He's dabbled with some welterweight, but right now, as of late, he's been more of a lightweight. Donald, I don't know how you do it, man, the way you're able to just fight so frequently. But again, it's the weight cuts. I always concern myself, like, how does this dude run in there and put his body through so much?
Money.
Oh, okay.
Why do you do this every day? For
Money.
Paycheck?
Yeah.
Right?
But I get to eat. I get to eat full meals. You know what I'm saying?
I'm only like 180, 183 right now, so like fighting heavier is hard, but making 55 is also hard. So.
I know. I see you kind of like when they do the embeddeds and I see you in the sun, I'm like, oh, man.
Mm-hmm.
It's not
dying.
When we were covering you at WEC, it seemed like you could do it, a lot easier.
Now I'm a man.
Now you're, and a father. Congratulations.
Thank you.
In fact, that was a question I had. Did that do a little bit of the creativity and spurning the idea to have these kids come out? Because Daddy Cerrone seems to be a different type of fella.
Man, it's so funny because when we were on my boat, I used to outlaw tubes and anything like that, and now I have all these kids. I'm like, oh, we need tubes and life jackets and like safety shit. I'm like, oh, everything about my life is like safety now. Like, oh my God, this is crazy. But we need to get.
But you're loving it,
We need
right?
to get another bobblehead. My kid Hulk slammed and broke it.
Oh, did he really?
Yeah, he was eating it and then so.
But you know what's funny though, Donald, is whenever we talk to fighters, I'll bring up like Cub Swanson.
Sure.
It's always the reverse effect. They say when they have kids, it's a little bit tougher. With you, it's almost like it's brought out this mean streak in you. But I think it's got to be that drive of having the little guy there, right?
You know, like on such a primal level, right? Like no one's gonna take food from my kid, my family. Like that's how I felt it when I walked out to the cage the first time when I was fighting Mike Perry, and I saw him. I was like, oh fuck no! Like it like hit me like on a primal level, and yeah, I mean, I'm just a wild ass dude, so it wouldn't have slowed me down. And if anything, I can't wait for him to start being more active and playing sports and doing things. But I need the financial funds to do this, so I got to keep fighting, right?
That submission, by the way, is up for the World MMA Awards, Submission of the Year.
Oh, is it?
Yeah.
Oh, I won't be there, but I'll be drinking beer, running around.
Is there a certain sport you want to point him in the direction of?
No, whatever he wants. Don't care. Yeah, do not care. I'll back it 100%. So whatever he wants to do, we're going all in, man. I can't wait. Can't wait. His football uniform, danger across the back. I don't even care what wrestling, danger down his leg. Like it's gonna be fun, man. I'm so excited.
Is that really bull snot?
Yeah,
on that hat.
Yeah, you can see it.
Bull slobber? What is it?
It's thrown where he was throwing his head, trying to eat me.
I was telling the guys, that bull has a lot of nerve. Aside from the fact that he outweighs you by like 10 times,
but this was before
he's bucking you. Yeah. He could possibly kick you or stomp you, and if that's not enough, he'll slobber over you too.
The slobbering comes when they're just trying to just bury their head and pummel your ass.
Wow. So you've been slobbered.
I've been slobbered.
Huh.
And this hat proves it right here. Yeah, and you can own it. You can own it. The highest bidder.
Yeah. So let's talk about that a little bit. You have these hats that Dave was telling us about,
right?
That are going to be auctioned off, and then the fantasy camp for somebody to come out and spend a weekend with you?
A weekend, as much as they can take. I'm gonna run them hard. So my buddy Jesse here, he hangs out with us all the time. He's like, man, and a lot of my friends that come out and hang out with me, they're like, man, I can only hang out with you, and then I got to take a fucking break, and I got to take a vacation from hanging out with you because I can't keep up. Like, I'm just a go guy. So when we wake up in the morning, we're going all the way till late at night, and they're like, fuck, can we just, like, sit down and just have a minute? So that's how I'm wired.
Mm-hmm. All right.
So as long as they can keep up,
So it could be longer than the weekend if they can extend the stay, if they can hang.
Sure, if they want to stay Monday to.
And what are you guys gonna do? You guys gonna shoot some guns?
I'm gonna see whatever they want to do. I'm like,
quad runners.
It's your fantasy, man. You tell me what you want to do.
Martial art lessons.
Yeah. If you want to sit here and play Xbox, I'll watch you. You know what I mean? But you want to go ride horses, shoot guns, go on the boat, whatever you want to do, it's your party.
Do you have bull riding too on the BMF?
Well, we can make it happen.
Wow, and I know back in the WEC days when we
I own a legendary white buffalo. How about that?
I've heard, yeah.
It's pretty
and you have a landing strip on the ranch too,
sure.
right?
Mm-hmm.
So if whoever wins, if they have a little Cessna, they can just get the coordinates and land on the actual ranch. How big is this ranch acreage-wise?
40 acres, but I'm buying the 120 behind me, so I'm in the process of buying all that. We're going back and forth with the lady who owns it now. She doesn't know it's me, but she knows somebody wants it bad, so she's hardballing.
Is she a fan of yours, or is she like that guy, that son of a bitch?
Yeah, the guy shooting guns at my house all the time.
So you're going to literally quadruple in size or something like that. I hope I got my math straight.
And then I'm going to build my wife and kid a new house. That's the plan.
Wow.
Okay, and that's in addition to, didn't you just build some quarters for, I guess, some of the athletes that come in?
We're always building.
I saw that.
That's all we're doing.
How many fighters can you actually host at one time?
20-something.
Wow.
We could double that if you're
Are
really
you bigger
friendly.
than Jackson Winks now?
No, because it's just me. I don't like hold classes or anything. So it's just whenever I'm training, I bring everyone in, all my training partners, and we just go. Or like Yair Rodriguez.
So if you're away, then no one stays there, or do they stay there and go through?
Yeah, while Daddy's away, the mice don't play.
Oh, okay. So when you're there, people can stay there.
Yeah.
Wow. And your
right now,
camp runs 26 deep. You really need that many training partners?
Well, yeah, we have my chef and friends and I'm just saying that's how many we can have. You asked me what I could hold. I told you.
Okay.
But we have 12 to 15 usually.
Wow.
And everybody's got to do their part. Like, who's the one guy that just kind of slips in? Is there anybody? If George and I came, if we said, hey, we're the guys that wash the cars, like, what's the least amount of work you can do to tag along?
Well, it depends what your part is in camp. Like, are you a coach? Or are you a training partner? Or are you just coming to take pictures and hang out?
Just mop floors.
Mop floors, yeah.
Mop floors and pick up horseshit.
If you're the floor mopper, you're going to be working. You're going to be feeding the animals.
Hey, homeboy can barbecue, though.
All right.
I can barbecue.
There we go.
Yeah.
So
and the meat's fresh, dude. It's right there.
Right there.
How many chickens do you have on the BMF ranch?
I don't know. It's
always
always
in the hundreds, or
no.
Okay.
Dozen, 2 dozen, maybe. Chickens, turkeys, goats, pigs, geese, buffalo. Yeah.
Wow.
Goat's good. You ever had goat?
Yeah, I have. Yeah.
A lot of people are like, oh, eat a fucking goat. Like, yeah,
That was
it tastes better than lamb, I think.
Didn't they?
I don't like lamb, but I don't
like lamb either because it's really gamey. But goat doesn't have the game.
Right.
So,
That's good.
Yeah, I like.
I
goat.
had it. My buddy's Filipino, and they had like a graduation, and I had that. I
Yeah.
had the goat. I've had the lamb. Have you ever had cow's heart?
Yeah, of course.
Oh, you have. Dang, I thought I was going to catch him off guard on that one.
I've had cow tongue.
Our mom's from Peru,
Have
and
you
we
had some?
had the heart of a cow, so I thought it was. I just thought it was maybe something.
I've
we
even
did
had
over there.
lion dick. How about that?
No, come on.
Yeah, they say it's supposed to help
I
you out.
believe
Lion-
cow tongue.
That is pretty funny, though.
Have you had cow tongue?
No.
No?
It's terrible.
No.
Is it?
Yeah, it's fucking gross. I don't know why.
Cain Velasquez likes that. Oh no, he likes cow cheek, huh?
Cow cheek, yeah. All right, so update us real quick. You had no broken orbital.
No broken.
And
no
it
broken
looks like you're all
anything.
healed up. So
I was healed up like the next day.
okay, so 2019, we will see Cowboy Cerrone at least twice.
At least twice more.
All right, are you already they're already aware?
I already wrote Sean a note and Dana a little note on their desk today because neither one were in there.
Lightweight or
Don't care. Any weight.
Man, all right. My mind's going crazy here, but I mean, you're probably sick of hearing this, but I haven't seen you, so I really want to see you and McGregor fight.
So
I think
do
it'd be an epic fight.
Dude, that's been so close so many times. So the funny thing is, the very first, when Diaz fought McGregor, I was flying. I just fought, and I was flying home that Sunday, and they called me like, hey, do you want the McGregor fight? So he turned me down back then. He's turned me down 3 or 4 other times now, and it's crazy to me, man. But
his call-outs on social media then are that's it.
Yeah, because this last fight we were supposed to do it, and then it just deteriorated. I don't know. He's like, yeah, let's do it, and then he won't sign his side of the deal.
Mm-hmm. Earlier we had Diego Sanchez in here, and now he's no longer with Jackson Wink. Now I don't know if this is a topic you want to rehash,
Sure, right.
but it seemed like he was having the same types of problems.
Did you ask him about it? You say, what about your shots? The problem with Diego, I love him. I've known him for years. Probably one of the oldest people I knew down there in Jackson's, and I don't have any hard feelings with him. He's fucking crazy, man. So he's just popping off trying to. He didn't know all the facts, but now he lived them, didn't he?
Yeah, he says he wasn't getting the adequate attention or whatever.
Yeah.
So, I don't know. Like I say, we've covered you since WEC, and I just remember seeing you and Jackson Wink. But
sure.
Look, no one can argue with your success.
No, you saw
I think
me,
Dave could corner you, and
you
you're
saw
still
me and Greg Jackson never Wink.
Yeah.
Never ever. So, but that's neither here nor there.
Mm-hmm. All right. So when do you think you might fight again? Just give it a Oh, really? Abu Dhabi? Wait, no, that's September. August. All right, let me look it up here.
I have no idea where.
August is California.
Sure.
Yeah. Honda Center.
Boom.
Give me a name.
Tony Ferguson. Rematch.
Rematch.
Yeah.
That is his hometown, kind of like.
I'm begging for it. I'm asking. August, hopefully no later than September. If I can't fight any much later than September because now I'm running into not being able to get 2 more in the end of the year.
Mm-hmm. All right. Has he expressed interest or his camp?
The UFC side has the brass, so we'll see.
And what's another name possibly?
Whoever signs the dotted line.
All right, and you're open for lightweight or featherweight. No, sorry, welterweight. I remember at one time you had even teased featherweight, but I think that ship sailed.
Yeah, it's
you got dad bod going on a little bit.
Dad bod, yeah, it's fucking gone out of here.
Are you still tight with the guys from the NASCAR circuit?
Of course, yeah.
All right.
My whole management team is
What's the fastest you've ever taken one of those bad boys?
I've been 180 miles an hour.
And what's scarier, that or those caves or riding bulls? Like, what's the one that's tested you the furthest where you're like, oh, my God, what am I doing?
Cave diving, I feel the best because I know exactly what I'm doing. In that car, it's really loose. Like, you ever watch Days of Thunder and talk about, my rear end's loose? Yeah, that's like a real thing. It's, like, really loose.
Loose means it slides, right? Like it's going back.
It feels like it's just kind of, and the berms are like humongous. Like it's not on a flat track. Actually, you're coming around those berms, and it feels like it's just gonna kick out. It's loose. And I was like, that's what he meant when he was saying it's gonna be.
Harvick
loose.
didn't tell you slow it down, kid.
Nah.
Just let
him run.
Wow. All right.
Pan it, shove it to the levee, baby.
You're gonna be signings for Dave here for the MMA bobblehead team at Blondie's and at LV Fight Shop. That is one amazing bobblehead.
I love it.
I mean, seriously. And Dave was telling me that you had some input along the way?
Yeah, he worked very well with me back and forth. Like, yes, no, change that, do that, but his overall beginning product was amazing. So it was just like very minute things that we changed.
Mm-hmm.
So
and Mark Wahlberg, fan of his as well.
Yeah, he was pumped,
He was
man.
holding it up.
Yeah, Marky Mark. He don't like getting called Marky Mark, but the whole time I worked with him, I called him Marky Mark.
Well, what's he gonna do to you, right?
Seriously.
But
you ever go any rounds with him?
No. I mean, the movie we did, we have a big fight scene, so it was kind of cool. And I kicked him in the ribs, fucking good. He was like, "Ooh, that was gonna hurt," But he was a big fan when I gave it to him, man. And then he gave you a shout out.
Yeah,
it
that was
cool.
awesome. Oh, that was awesome. Awesome. Flooring.
Yeah,
floored me.
It was cool. They were pumped. I gave the producer and Mark, a couple other guys on the set.
You got any more Hollywood scripts being thrown
Yeah,
your way?
I'm going to Austin for probably 3-4 months, work on a movie.
Oh, so you need to fight before that then, right? That's the August date you were shooting for? Or?
Yeah, I'll fight before then, or I'll just bring everyone to Austin with me. I got On It out there, and I'll train. All the producers I work with are super cool, man. They give me all the time I need to train. And
what can you share about that movie? What's it about?
It's a kids' action movie, like a superhero movie for kids.
Mm-hmm. And
that's about it.
Can you share what your role is or not? Like that?
Nope.
No. I saw you in The Equalizer as well with Arlovsky, I believe.
Yeah,
and
I
Jay
got Arlovsky
Haran.
the rail. They needed someone. I was like, I got a guy. And and Jay Haran, man, super.
He's
worked with
cool,
him. So cool, man. I worked with him a couple times. Worked with Jay again on Equalizer 2, so we did both of them. But it was fun, man. It was a lot of fun.
Mm-hmm. You're not ready to transition into entertainment just yet, though, right? It's still fighting. That's that number one love?
It's my fire, man. I love it, every bit of it.
So you're probably gonna make it to 50 fights if you really push it.
Oh, I'm gonna surpass 50 100%.
Damn, that is insane. Are you like the Wolverine or something? Like you just don't ache and you don't wake up with aches. Like John Elway, for example, was a great quarterback, but he said on Monday when I woke up, it felt like I was in a car wreck. So you go out there, you win fights, but still, don't you wake up and go, "Oh, what the fuck is this?"
Yeah, I do every day. I wake up sore. I actually have to warm up to get out of bed sometimes. How about that?
I believe it. You're out here in Vegas a lot.
Yeah.
You ever thought of just getting a spot out in near Lake Mead?
No. I would love to, but see, I fuck my money off so fast that when it comes time to make big buying decisions like that, I don't have any.
No taxes here.
No state
Forget
taxes.
that.
You guys have state taxes?
Yeah.
One other thing here.
I need another beer. We got another beer?
Yeah, we do.
You guys are fucking babysitting yours. But
Leonard Garcia.
My man.
He's still your dog, right? Your ride or die.
Mm-hmm.
He's going to be headlining a
Bare Knuckle
man.
again.
Does he still come out to the ranch at all? I know he's got a family, but
Yep, he comes out.
wow. Talk about that guy. I remember you were on the show once with Joey Varner. We asked you for a street fight story and had to do something about in the parking lot. And did the guy have a sword or a gun?
Something like
that.
But
I remember the story wasn't so much important as what you told us that day. You said you had to actually temper yourself, but had Leonard been with you, it could have been like the craziest thing ever.
Yeah, because Leonard's
something about he's just good.
Yeah, he's nuts. So he loses it quick. So yeah.
So he's perfect for something like bare knuckle.
Oh yeah,
because he had an exciting style back in the day.
The problem is he was a dying breed of guys that will just plant their feet and throw down, right? But the bare knuckle boxing, that's right up his alley. He doesn't have to worry about anyone taking him down, anyone trying to wrestle him. Just stand there and throw Chingasso away. He's ready.
That was pretty good. Well, if you see him, tell him the boys at MMA Junkie.
I will.
Give him a shout out, and we'd love to have him back on the show to preview that fight. But
sure.
I wasn't sure how tight you guys were still ever since he moved back to Texas.
Oh yeah, he's my boy.
Nice. All right, so guys, tomorrow and Saturday, you guys got the signing going on, and you guys are raising money. I've already directed people to at Cowboy Cerrone and at MMA Bobblehead.
That's right.
For that once in a lifetime. Although if you have fun, maybe you'll do it again.
Yeah.
But 2 people could come out and enjoy an experience out at the ranch, and all this is to raise money, and so that these kids can have the fantasy camp of a lifetime.
Fantasy camp of a lifetime, exactly.
Yeah, and it's 24, that are coming out.
24 of them.
Wow. And have you already done the agenda of what you're doing?
No. I don't make agendas ever. I don't plan shit. I just wing it. So we're going to get up, train, see what the kids want to do.
Is this going to be a yearly thing or once a year thing?
It's going to be 2 or 3 times a year, I think.
Really?
Oh, that's awesome.
I'm getting so much feedback from the parents and people like, how can I sign up for the next one?
Oh, that's great news.
Oh, look at that.
Look at that. Look at
Contributing.
that. Look at this. We got a bucket.
Very
there
cool.
you go.
Yeah.
That's what that is,
that's what
right?
it says. Show me the
That's
money.
it.
All
Show
right.
me the money. That's it.
Awesome.
I
See
might
the
find out it
front.
was a spit bucket or something.
Nice.
Isn't that cool?
Very
Yeah.
cool. Loyalty over everything. Yeah, it definitely does reign with you for sure. Here's a little fun fact. We'll close with this. Back when WEC had their shows Monday through Friday. Or sorry, it was
Monday,
like
Wednesdays and Sundays.
Yeah, we started this deal where if a fighter did our show on the day of their fight, which they can't do normally with UFC because it's Saturdays.
Right.
But if we did that, we gave them junkie karma, right? One of the first was actually Donald Cerrone. And so he did the show on fight day. And the reason we did it is because too many fighters were becoming prima donnas and divas. And they're like, one big name fighter, I'll tell you after the show, said, I don't do interviews on fight month. Not fight week, on fight month. And I was like, what? So I told Goes, I go, fucking Cristiano Ronaldo's walking off at halftime and they'll interview him as he's walking into halftime and then walk out.
Right.
You know, and those are big stages, you know what I mean? I go, we just got to find the right fighters. And WEC used to do the week shows. And Schaller, your boy, said, I know someone that'll do it. And so he had Cerrone come on. It was quick, 5 minutes. And he won, and he actually did 2 of them, 2 others. So you got us 3 wins. We created Junkie Karma. Junkie Karma, when fighters do our show, is like almost 80%.
How about that?
So, yeah, so you were definitely one of those guys that got us started with that, man. It's so cool that how you're able to just focus. Like, you're able to live life, but focus when it comes time to just fighting. And I guess maybe that comes when they lock up the cage. Or
It's time to go. It's time to go.
But other than that, you are able to compartmentalize and just live life. You know what I mean? I think too many of these guys, including now with the sport evolving, are so screwed in the head that when they get out there, it's not their best. And I don't know how they can figure it out. Do you have any advice for some of those fighters? How they can?
No. It's a long way to the top if you want to rock and roll, man. You just got to learn to play the game and fucking do it time after time after time after time.
What's your level of anxiety or nerves?
10,000 max.
So you're just good at hiding it.
Yeah, fake it till you make it.
Love it. Hey, thanks so much for stopping by. Really appreciate you.
You got it, guys.
And congrats on an amazing career. It's going to be a Hall of Fame career for sure when
Thanks
it's all
for
said and done.
going overtime with me.
Yeah, for sure. No, thank
awesome.
you.
Thank you.
Tomorrow night. Friday night, Blondies,
Yes.
5 to 7 p.m. Cowboy Cerrone and Bruce Buffer. Blondies is inside the Planet Hollywood, and then Las Vegas Fight Shop, that's also inside the Planet Hollywood in the Miracle Mile. It's 1 to 3 p.m., and that'll be Donald Cerrone and Brian Ortega.
That's right. Thank you. Thank you, George. Always so good to me, George. Thank you so much.
Bring your money, motherfuckers.
And with that, we're out of here, folks. Go out there and be a champion.